Tom, it's been a good couple of games for yourself in the Royal London One Day Cup. How are you feeling? Feeling in good nick?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Obviously it's nice to start with some runs. For me, it's good for the confidence, gets me nice to settle back into the team as well after the start of the year being with the twos for the start. But yeah, it's all about the next game now and trying to obviously score runs against Worcester and win the game for the side, hopefully.
I was going to say, obviously it was your list day debut and your first game of the year, just 2 games back. I mean, how have you found that little period difficult, not being in the Championship team, or have you thrown yourself into all the Second 11 cricket and just tried to press your case?
Yeah, it's been frustrating. Obviously I want to work till winter and put everything forward to hopefully starting in the Championship stuff. But then once I was missed out, there's nothing I can do. They made that selection decision, and all I can hopefully do now is prove my point and go, right, I'm scoring runs now in this, hopefully use this 50 over stuff to push me forward, and then make them have a tough decision when they're starting the Championship stuff again.
There it is, look. How did you obviously how did you find that first game? Do you find you formed very well? Was it as easy as it looked out there on the pitch, or did you have to really work at it with it being your first team game of the year?
No, I found it. I went in with not very high expected. I was real relaxed. I wanted to prove a point, but yeah, I just went out there and tried to play strong cricket shots. And for me, I just found that luckily for me, it was one of those days where it just was one of the days where you hit the ball nicely, and when you hit the ball well, it went into gaps, especially early on. So I was hitting 4s, which then took pressure off me. Livy started really well as well, so there wasn't any pressure on me to score, and I was able to go at a nice tempo. And then when Pudge came in, we could just his communication was good. We spoke well together about the plans, and then when it got towards the end, when I had a licence, it was just fun to be able to express myself and be able to play some shots.
How are you finding those opening partnerships? Because I say partnerships because you've had a couple with Pajara as well, haven't you? So I mean, how are you finding working with both Livy and Pajara at the top of the order there? You must be good guys to work with.
Yeah, for me, Livy obviously they're both very different in how they are out there. Livy's a little bit more pumped up and stuff, as you could probably tell when you're batting with him, whereas Pudge is very much just relaxed, calm, really cool. So it's and you also know with him, with me and Livy, probably we're going to hit a higher percentage of boundaries with the Oz single, whereas with Pajara I know that I'm going to get a good amount of strike, so I can keep hitting my boundaries and stuff, and he'll just get ones. So for both of us, for the partnerships, I really like batting with both of them, and they're both they're obviously good to learn from, both of them, and hopefully we can, especially me and Livy up top, we can really put some big totals on together.
Aside from the runs you've made personally, you've given the team, I suppose, a really solid platform in both the One Day Cup games so far, haven't you?
Yeah, I think that's obviously my job up top, is to hopefully get us off to a good start, and then when I get in, hopefully be able to kick on and win matches. That's what I try and do. I try and be a match winner, and when I'm in, make it count, make it a big one that you go, right, they're never going to chase this score, or really have to bat well to chase the score. And when you start with Livy, for me, he's probably slightly quicker starter most of the time, but left-right-handers with us, I feel, works well to our strengths. He's a little bit shorter, I'm a bit taller obviously, so he might get slightly more shorter balls because they're used to bowling to me or stuff like that, so I think it works quite well, especially if we can rotate the strike. Then it puts them under pressure because they have to keep changing their line every ball, but yeah, it's good to be up the top and scoring runs.
What did you, in your eyes, what was the downfall, I suppose, against Warwickshire on Sunday?
I just felt probably playing Jean Patel, he's their main guy. And I think as a side we could have been a little bit more, played him better. Similar to how well they played Rash. They knew if Rash didn't take a wicket, realistically they weren't going to get bowled out on that pitch, and as it shows, they were right with that kind of way they played him, just pick him off ones, twos, the odd four. And I think that's what we could have done better towards him, is instead of giving 4 for in the middle overs, say he only takes 1 for 40 off 10, then we're right in the game to have a whack at the end against their seam bowlers, which was on a good pitch, which we would have then got 300, 320. Then they would have had to play a shot to Rash at some point, which then brings him more into the game.
So a little bit more riding on this one this week against your former club, do you feel, or is it kind of all? Do you feel that's all been put to bed now, and you're happy to just crack on here with Yorkshire?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a little bit different, because obviously I've not played them since coming up here, but for me I'm just all in kind of the job in hand of trying to win the game. I'm looking forward to seeing them. They're all still really good friends of mine, so hopefully be able to kind of beat them on the field and then catch up with them after, which will be nice.
Expect a bit of stick from them, friendly of course, out there in the middle.
Yeah, they can say whatever they want to me anyway, it'll be funny. And yeah, it's just going to be one of those games where I think you just got to kind of be professional, get your head down and do what you're paid to do.
It's the final training session today before tomorrow's game. What is it in particular that you'll work on now in between the games? Obviously you mentioned that probably the downfall was a little bit of swerving away, I suppose, from the game plan you had in place for that particular opposition. Is it just a case of ticking over out there in the middle today in the nets, or is there something in particular that you're gonna address?
For me, I think it's just kind of making sure you're in good positions and watching the ball and hitting the ball. But I also think it's a good chance to upskill. So if you want to practice kind of reverse sweeps or different kinds of shots, especially against a spinner, for me, I'll be kind of trying to hit different areas, work on stuff like that, so then when it comes to a game I have the confidence that I know, say mid-on's up, I can just hit it over mid-on, mid-off's up over there, extra cover wherever, so you have that confidence in when you're out in the middle, knowing that you've been practicing it and you're executing it in training sessions as well, so then you go into the game, you have confidence and go, I need a boundary this ball, say, and you have enough options that you can go, well, if the ball's here I'll go there, if it's there I'll go there, and if not I'll get one. So that's the kind of stuff that I like to work on during my white ball practice sessions.
Final question, I suppose. There's been a lot of talk about the way you've started this kind of white ball campaign, and Gailey made some remarks while we were on tour about how good you were at white ball cricket, at 50 over cricket. Do you feel comfortable with talk about potential England representation, or do you think about that much, or is it not something that you kind of let bother you at this stage?
Obviously, it's something I'd love to do. And it's one of my ambitions to play for England, but it's kind of, you can talk about it all you want. I think kind of when I was younger I got caught up in it a little bit, kind of really trying, but I know if I put in good good performances, and then if they don't want to pick me, they don't pick me. It's kind of, as long as I'm happy and I'm winning games for Yorkshire, at some point if I score enough runs they'll come knocking at some, and if they don't, they don't. It's one of those things that for me it's obviously a dream of mine, but I know that I can't kind of be focused on that. I've got to be focused on every innings I go out to bat, scoring as many as I can, and then if you do that well enough and consistently enough, then you'll hopefully get the call.